Simon Baker and this is Weekend Job Finder. It's another packed show this morning, so let's take a look at what's to come. Our new series, Brits Working Abroad, begins today. The first report takes us aboard a Dover to Calais ferry, where we caught up with head chef Denise Bean.
You've got to be self-motivated, reliable. You've got to be able to work as a team. That's important. Whichever area you work in on the vessel, whether it be in the galley or front of house, teamwork is very much a part of our business.
We find out about a woman who holds the keys to a 13th century manor house. Julie Hall is head custodian at Stokesay Castle in Shropshire.
The main purpose of the job is obvious to greet the visitor and make their visit an enjoyable one. That is obviously our prime objective.
How would you like to be caught up in traffic all day? To tell us more about the job of a bus driver is Stella Fox.
Depending on what shifts we're on, if it's an early one, then we have to arrange for a bus to actually collect us in the morning if it's real early. Then we go and fetch the bus from the garage, we come down to the Broadmarsh bus station, set the bus up, which we have to set the change up, an ACE which we put in, which calculates all the fares which we take.
Plus I'll be talking to Sebastian Sands, who'll explain about the European Directive to protect gay and lesbian workers. And we'll look at individual learning accounts with Dawn McCracken from Birmingham and Solihull Tech. First up, however, is the computer with today's information pages. Hello, I'm Simon Baker and this is Weekend Job Finder. The pages return tomorrow, but now here's what's coming up in the show today. We begin our new series, Brits Working Abroad. The first report takes us on board a Dover to Calais ferry, which is where we caught up with head chef Denise Bean.
You've got to be self-motivated, reliable. You've got to be able to work as a team. That's important. Whichever area you work in on the vessel, whether it be in the galley or front of house, teamwork is very much a part of our business.
And we'll be finding out about a woman who holds the keys to a 13th century manor house. Julie Hall is head custodian at Stokesay Castle in Shropshire.
The main purpose of the job is obvious to greet the visitor and make their visit an enjoyable one. That is obviously our prime objective.
I'll be finding out about gay and lesbian workers' rights after this career. It's an occupation that means dealing with rush hour traffic and members of the public on a daily basis. If you've got a great sense of direction, check out this morning's Rough Guide to a Career. The job of a bus driver is a responsible one, as we found out when we caught a lift with a bus driver in Nottingham.
Bus driver is a person that likes people, and with that we have to make sure that they will look after our customers to the way they're accustomed and even higher. We're looking to be of excellence, really.
First thing, when we actually filled an application form in, and it was a small test which you had to do, basically, that you could add up and takeaways and things like that. Then we had an interview with the manager. After that, went down to Langley Mill for an assessment where they put you on a bus and they take you out on the road straight away. There's nobody like in a driving school where they've got a foot on a pedal. You've got to do it. They will guide you and tell you, and basically you've got to get used to the size of the bus. Once you've passed that and they say yes, they're going to take you, you then have to go for a medical, because they won't take you on until you've had that. The hardest bit was thinking, right, I've got to put the machine, I've got to turn that on, I've got to prepare the bus, I've got to change all the signs at the right destinations. So remembering when you had to do each stage was the hardest. But the mentor that you have knows when you're ready.
Stella had a little slow start when she was in the driving school, but then came from strength to strength, and she's doing great guns now.
I was half expecting them, thinking, oh, another woman's walked through the door. They're not going to tell you anything. Anything I got stuck on, they was the first to come out. They would come out quicker than the women would, to be honest. They couldn't do enough to help you and get you settled in. Good bit's the wage. The bad bits is really late at night. I don't particularly like the late nights, I prefer early mornings. Really, like the first time you're out and you're going along and you've actually come to drop off your passengers and they've actually turned around, she says, that was a lovely ride, that was really nice, and then you know you've got it, you've got what it takes.
Now, discrimination against gay and lesbian workers is to become illegal as a result of a European directive. Until now, the law here protected workers on the grounds of sex, race and disability, but not sexuality. Some companies, however, opted to include sexuality in their own discrimination policies. Joining me now is Sebastian Sands from Stonewall, the lobby group fighting for gay and lesbian equality. So, Sebastian, why is the European directive so important?
It means that once the government have complied with the directive, that for the first time in this country we'll have legislation on the statute book that protects the rights of lesbians and gay men at work.
How will it affect gay and lesbian workers?
It means that citing somebody's sexuality will no longer be a legal reason for dismissing them. Amazingly enough, it is still not illegal in this country to sack somebody simply because they are gay. Once the directive is in place and once the legislation has been passed by our Parliament, then that will no longer be the case, and that will be very important.
Is gay and lesbian discrimination in the workplace still commonplace?
I think it is in some settings. Obviously, if you work for a local council or a big public body, they're probably going to have equal opportunities policies in place. But in the private sector, in some smaller companies, people still get harassed, people still get dismissed, people still have their staff benefits denied to their partner. Across a whole range of areas, there is still discrimination faced by lesbians and gay men at work.
How does this discrimination manifest itself in the workplace?
It can range from sort of fairly low level, what some people might call teasing, but I would probably call harassment, through to bullying, through to people's lives being made unpleasant for them at work, right through the whole spectrum really, that they're not able to talk about what they've done at the weekend with their partner, that they have to keep their home life secret from their colleagues, right up to the other end of the scale where people still are dismissed and hounded out of their job for being lesbian and gay.
How difficult will it actually be to prove a discrimination case of this type?
I think it won't be very difficult at all. Most lesbians and gay men know when they're being discriminated against, and most employers know when they are discriminating against their lesbian and gay employees. I think we'll be able to demonstrate quite readily if people are facing harassment or discrimination at work.
Sebastian Sands, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to find out more about the issue, here's the address for Stonewall. It's 46 to 48 Grosvenor Gardens, London, SW1WOEB. Or take a look at the website. The online address is www.stonewall.org.uk. We'll be looking at how individual learning accounts work after the next report. But first, how would you like to be king of the castle and get paid for it? You don't need to be royalty to look after your very own ancient fortress. We met up with the head custodian of a castle in Shropshire to find out what the job involves.
Being a head custodian for English Heritage, the main purpose of the job is obvious to greet the visitor and make their visit an enjoyable one. Green button to listen, red to stop, and if you do get a problem with them, pop straight back and see us. All right. Okay. The second most important thing is to make sure the site is safe. Health and safety is our second most important aspect of our job. Lots of other things involved, day-to-day running of the site, keeping it secure, keeping it clean and tidy, the financial management, running of the shop. 50 pence, please. Inspecting the castle from time to time, walking around. Lots of things really. Shutting it up at night, making sure nobody can get in, making sure nobody's locked in as well, I have done that. And opening up on time in the morning, punctuality is important. The jobs that are on offer here at Stokesay Castle and throughout English Heritage are mainly summer seasonal jobs, and they do run from April the 1st through to October the 31st, and they're advertised in the job centre around January time normally, and then we start recruiting in March, February maybe, but we start interviewing and recruiting, and then we offer a training day or two to our people, and then they start about the 1st of April. The sort of people that apply for posts here as seasonal custodians are from every walk of life. I have a lady who's been running an antique centre. I have another lady who was employed as an inspector in a factory. People who often want to change in their career, or maybe just filling in between things, studying, things like that. We don't need historians. Historians we've got plenty of, especially in our conservation departments. We need people who like people. You've got to like people to do this job. Enjoy talking to them, being friendly, making their day out a nice one for them.
If you're interested in this line of work, this is a good time to make inquiries about forthcoming vacancies. Contact English Heritage at 62 to 74 Burley Street, Cambridge, CB1 7DJ. Now, individual learning accounts are part of a government initiative set up for working adults. They provide access to funds for training and are aimed at improving career prospects. Dawn McCracken from the Birmingham and Solihull Tech is on the line to explain more. So Dawn, what are these accounts all about?
The account is an account with government, so that when individuals want to take up some piece of learning that's going to help them in their career, then the government, through their account, can help them pay for it.
Dawn, how are they actually accessed?
Locally in Birmingham and Solihull, individuals will fill out a form and get it to us, and that will tell us who they are and what they want the money for. Then we'll write back to them with a financial offer. Nationally, there is an organisation called Capita who operates in pretty much the same way. So you get in touch with them, they send a form to say, who are you, and they make the money available.
How many people have been successful then, Dawn?
We've made offers to nearly 8,000 people so far. We're hoping to make offers to another 3,000 people before February. Nationally, I'm not sure what the take-up is, but I hear it's going really, really well. The target is that by the end of next year, 1 million people will have been offered money to take up learning that's going to help them in their career.
And finally, Dawn, what other initiatives are you involved in?
We're involved in a whole range of things that are to do with helping people as individuals take up learning that's going to help them. One of the most exciting ones we're involved in is through the trade union movement, and the trade union movement is clearly very, very behind the individual members taking out learning accounts. So we're helping the TUC develop ways that unions can help people in their career. We're also involved in Learn Direct, the new government-backed internet-based learning, and that's going to be extremely exciting. The take-up's been phenomenal, with people getting their learning through the internet. So they're certainly two of the biggest things that we're involved in locally.
Dawn McCracken, thanks for joining us. Now, as Dawn mentioned, these accounts are generally for adults who are interested in taking their career forward. Check your local phone book for your nearest tech, or contact Birmingham and Solihull Tech at the following address. It's Chaplin Court, Hurst Street, Birmingham, B5 4TG, or call the tech on 0121 335 4900. To contact Capita, the Individual Learning Account Centre, try its free phone number on 0800 072 5678 or log on to its website. And if you'd like to contact Learn Direct, here's the number for adult learning courses. It's 0800 100 900. Now to our brand new series looking at Brits working abroad. We start with head chef on board the Dover to Calais crossing. Originally from the East Midlands, Denise Bean joined P&O Stena Line just for a summer job and has worked there for 9 years.
Get those mushrooms over here, Joel. Get some eggs.
Eggs ready.
My career background is I finished school at 16, moved down south and went to catering college, completed my 2 years training and came to P&O for a summer job. Tied me over the summer because I was going to go back to college for a third year. Joined as an assistant chef, as a temporary worker, progressed through being a chef, then I got promoted to second chef and then on to head chef recently this year.
Right, let's have some wingers, let's get his breakfast out now! Food going cold!
My job involves obviously serving food to our passengers, but along with that we have to maintain quality standards and procedures. I have to train chefs beneath me now, and of course the ongoing training of myself and all my colleagues at the same level. If you feel seasick, I think these days the vessels are built in such a large capacity. We have stabilisers and such vast passenger spaces. It's very unlikely that you would feel seasick. To become a chef, I had to gain my qualifications with City and Guilds 706 1 and 2, but to actually further my career within P&O Stena Line, we have a training programme for hotel service trainees. So for me to become head chef, I need to be able to train those students and it's an in-house training program, MVQs. So I need to be able to sign off their work as they go along.
That looks a bit better.
Whichever area you work in on the vessel, whether it be in the galley or front of house, teamwork is very much a part of our business. And you've got to take pride in what you do. As head chef in the galley, it's my responsibility to get the food out. If that's not happening, the initial job for me is to get that food out, so it would be hands-on. Then I would deal with the ifs, whys and buts to why the system fell down.
That's £3.50 then, please.
My career plans for the future are, I'm currently New York Deli Brand Champion. Involved in that is menu planning, maintaining quality and procedures, taking the menu forward, new ideas. I will hope to take the menu onto all 7 of our Dover Cali vessels, and as head chef continue with the training and progression of my galley team.
Good morning. Good morning. No breakfast is ready. That's nearly it from me, except to tell you about a couple of features on next week's show. Our Brits Working Abroad series will be from Holland. Darren Taylor, originally from Birmingham, has a job over there as a forklift truck driver.
New Deal helped me to get this job by sending me on a forklift course to get my licence. I passed that, and they helped me get this job in Holland.
And we have words of wisdom from 2 women who have made it to the top of an IT training company in Birmingham. Here's Sue Cook.
You need to have confidence in your abilities. If you believe that you do a good job, eventually it'll rub off on other people and they'll believe that you've got the skills to do the job as well.
That's next week here on the show. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear from you. Our online address is jobfinder@carltontv.co.uk, and the helpline is always available to take your message or inquiry 24 hours a day. Or you can write to us at Carlton Broadcasting, Gas Street, Birmingham, B1 2JT. Do join us again tomorrow, but from me and the rest of the JobFinder team, bye-bye for now.